Good morning. Today is Wednesday, April the 8th. I think that's right. And I'm excited because today I get to meet with teachers, and we meet through Meet, like some of you are doing to do your online learning. And it's always fun for me to get to see them. I miss them being here as well, and I still miss you. All right, are we ready for another assembly? All right, here we go.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the Arkansas flag with its diamonds and stars. We pledge our loyalty to thee.
You could tell that was Riley Joe Bush this morning, couldn't you? So that's why I want kids to record those and send them to me. Okay, let's hear you sing again. This is still my favorite.
I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright rescue days, the dark sacred nights, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people around. I see friends shaking hands, saying how do you do, and everybody's saying I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow, and then learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I think to myself, what a wonderful
Okay, remember our character word this week is integrity. Let's explore integrity. Look into learning what the right thing is and how to actually do it, especially when there is peer pressure. Certainly, not every choice you make will be popular with everyone. Some choices are hard to make. It's not about what other people think. Remember, integrity is doing what's right because it's the right thing to do. So let's think about some scenarios. What if you saw your best friend stealing a scarf from the teacher's desk? How would you handle that? What if you noticed that your grandmother dropped a $20 bill and you really, really wanted to buy a video game? What would you do? What if you saw the last piece of chocolate cake in the fridge, but you knew your sister was wanting it? What would you do? You jokingly said something at recess and later heard it was repeated as a rumor. How would you handle that situation? Think about these scenarios, and we're going to talk about those tomorrow and the decisions that you should make that would show good integrity. Okay, here's our health tip, continuing on with the pandemic. So, yesterday we talked about not touching your face. Well, you have to wash your hands. Even if you don't touch your face, you need to wash your hands because of the germs that are on them. Just pay attention to all of the things that your hands touch. It is recommended that you wash your hands for 20 seconds and always wash with soap. Soap, soap, soap is the key there. Scrub all of your hands, scrub around your fingernails, get them all good and clean. That is where many, many, many germs, even the virus germs, the viruses are carried on your hands. Wash your hands and don't touch your face. All right, here's our artist, Peter Bruegel. Peter Bruegel the Elder, and we're talking about subject and genre today. Subject is the main idea of an artwork or what it's about. The subject of this painting is the scene of Napoleon becoming Emperor of France in 1804. The painting is called The Coronation of Napoleon, and it is painted by one of last year's artists, David. Genre is a category or type. Now, there are genres of literature: mystery, historical fiction, realistic fiction, humor. All of those are genres of literature. Art also has genres or types too. The subject of the painting, this particular painting, is the crowning of Napoleon. But the genre or type of art it is called historical art. It's about an historical event. This type of genre is called a still life. Still lifes are collections of inanimate objects. Inanimate means that they don't move, they're still. The subject of the first painting there on the left is fruit and a pitcher, and that painting is by Paul Cézanne. The subject of the second one, which is by someone you know, and I bet you can guess it, Vincent van Gogh, and the subject of that painting is sunflowers in a vase. Subjects are what the paintings are about. But the genre of these two paintings is still life. Landscapes are another genre of painting. Landscapes feature scenes of nature such as mountains, forests, deserts, or bodies of water. The subject of this painting is the mountain with a lake. This is a painting that Bierstadt painted in the Sierra Nevada mountains. The subject of this painting is what you see here. It's called Mountain Lake, but the genre of the painting is a landscape. Portraits or portraiture is another genre of art. Portraits are paintings or artworks that record the likenesses of humans or animals that are alive or were once alive. They typically depict a person. The subject of the painting on the left by Norman Rockwell is John F. Kennedy Jr., or some might say it's a man in a suit looking down. That's the subject. The subject of the second painting on the right is Mrs. Joshua Montgomery Sears, or we might say it's a lady in a chair. But that painting is by John Singer Sargent. But these two paintings, the genre is portrait. So we'll continue talking about portrait and subject tomorrow. All right, Marian Anderson is our artist, is our musician this week. One of our character words for the last 9 weeks was determination. Marian Anderson had great determination. She was determined to make something of herself, even from her humble beginnings. She overcame many challenges, the biggest of all being that of a Black woman during a time of great discrimination in our nation. When Marian Anderson was 12, her father was accidentally struck on the head while he was at work. He died just a few weeks before Christmas. Marian and her family moved into the home of her father's parents, her grandpa Benjamin and her grandma Isabella. Her grandfather had been born a slave and had experienced emancipation in the 1860s. He was the first of the Anderson family to settle in South Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and when Anderson moved into his home, the two became very close. Anderson attended Stanton Grammar School, graduating in the summer of 1912. Her family, however, could not afford to send her to high school, nor could they pay for any music lessons. Still, Marian Anderson continued to perform wherever she could and learn from anyone who was willing to teach her. Throughout her teenage years, she remained active in her church's musical activities and was now heavily involved in the adult choir. She joined the Baptist Young People's Union and the Campfire Girls, which provided her with some limited musical opportunities. Today's listening example is a recording of Marian Anderson singing the spiritual "Nobody Knows the Trouble I've Seen." It was recorded in 1924 when she was only 27 years old. In this recording, you'll hear Marion's higher range. This means the notes she sings were higher than she normally sang. However, she's still able to sing beautifully in the lower notes. Those lower notes are usually associated with a man's voice, but Marion is able to sing them with a kind of grace and style, but that became her true signature. That was pretty. All right, our place this week, remember, is Barcelona, Spain. And Barcelona is a city in the country of Spain, which is on what continent? That's right, the continent of Europe. If you have time for only one sightseeing outing, if you visit Barcelona, this should be it. The Sagrada Familia amazes by its sheer height and has been under construction for more than 150 years. Can you believe that? When completed, the highest tower will be more than half as high again as those that stand there today. La Sagrada Familia is the most visited monument in Spain. Gaudi gave his towers swelling outlines inspired by the weird peaks of the mountains outside of Barcelona, and he encrusted the towers with a tangle of sculpture that seems an outgrowth of the stone. See, it's not smooth at all. That's the way he designed it. The roof is held up by a forest of extraordinary angled pillars. As the pillars soar toward the ceiling, they sprout a web of supporting branches, creating the effect of a canopy of a forest. So look at this picture. If you are this is actually inside, and you're looking up. It kind of does look like the branches of trees holding up the canopy, which would be, the tops, the leaf parts of trees. Pretty, huh? Gaudi disliked straight lines and angles because they don't often appear naturally. Instead, he based his design on the swirling curves of nature. The holy place was built to be seen from all points of the city. It has glass mosaics at its highest points, which when reflected by the sun or moonlight act as beacons to guide seafarers home. Look how beautiful that is with the sun shining in those stained glass windows. That is pretty. All right, now we've had this young lady as our face of creativity in the past, and you really, really loved her. So our face of creativity today is Darcy Lynn, who is still performing today to audiences around the world. We're going to learn from Darcy the importance of practicing and practicing and practicing some more. She practiced a lot. Singer ventriloquist Darcy Lynn is the youngest contestant to ever win America's Got Talent. Growing up in Oklahoma, Darcy's always been close to her family and relies on their support and encouragement. When she heard about ventriloquism, she decided to try it out for herself, and she just happened to be good at it after some practice. Her hard work, grit, and discipline definitely paid off. Today she is famous, and she does shows for sellout audiences. So today we're going to watch her performance for America's Got Talent, and she was only 12 years old.
Hello. How are you?
I'm great.
Why are you laughing?
I don't know.
What's your name?
My name's Darcy Lynn.
Okay, and Darcy, who's that?
My name's Petunia.
It talks.
Is it a bunny?
Yes.
Is that a real bunny? Well, we're going to find out. Okay. And Darcy, why did you both decide to enter the show?
Well, it was one of my big dreams. But also, I would really like to keep ventriloquism alive because it's not common, you know? So.
Well, listen, Darcy, best of luck. I really hope you both do
Thank you
well.
so much.
All right, good luck.
Are you ready? Yeah, I'm ready. Hit it. Wait, you're gonna sing? Mm-hmm. Oh boy.
Wow.
Fish are jumping and the cotton is high.
Wow.
One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing. Then you'll spread your wings and you'll take to the sky. But till that morning, there ain't nothing can harm. So hush, little baby, don't you
Pretty amazing, huh? Practice, practice, practice. If you want to be good at singing, or a video game, or reading, or gymnastics, or sports, or math, you have to practice. All right, buenos dias, Mr. Hernandez.
Buenos dias, everyone. Today's palabra comes from art. And so this palabra, this word, actually starts with the letter G. Now, the interesting thing about the letter G in Spanish is that it doesn't really behave like the G in English. So it doesn't start with the J sound. It's more of a kind of like you're clearing your throat. And I know we practice this in class a lot. And so today's palabra is género. Now, I'll say it again, and I'll stop so you guys can practice at home because it is an interesting sounding word. Género. Muy bien. Género is a Spanish word that means genre. So it's a cognate, so it's going to look and sound like that word. Muy bien, guys.
All right, remember this is School Spirit Week. Today is Red and Orange Day. I do have on my red shirt today to participate. Remember, be sending your teachers pictures of you participating. And I have seen several of those on Facebook, and I enjoy seeing them. I enjoy seeing you dress up, and I also enjoy seeing you doing your AMI. I like that, and I love seeing when you're participating in assembly or when you are talking to your teachers online. All right, tomorrow is Look for the Helpers. Dress as your favorite essential helper, nurses, doctors, truck drivers, all of those people who are working now to keep our country running. So tomorrow, talk about dress like an essential helper. Oh, there she is. I knew I saw her earlier today. Bless her little heart. I'm pretty impressed that she doesn't hit something, aren't you? All right, I'm going to leave you with her walking in circles. I hope that you have an amazing, amazing Wednesday. Like I told you, I get to talk with teachers in a little while, and I am super excited.